All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of Jedi Academy. Tonight we are getting into the Phenomenon trailer for Mandalorian Season 3 and Episode 6 of Bad Batch. I am here with, as always, Noah Dell and Padawan Frito. I am sitting in for the head geek Ben. I am always Jedi Master Tuck. So join us, guys. Don't laugh at me. Please join our mission to 1,000 subscribers. We are trying to get to 1,000, guys, so please hit that like and subscribe button, notification bell, and share with some friends for us. But we will be right back to talk some Star Wars.
God, why does that music get me pumped every time?
Dude, it's so awesome, isn't it? It's the greatest intro, man. It is.
Yes.
So, guys, as I said, welcome back to Jedi Academy. We have a few things to talk about today, but first, Noah, say hi to everybody. How are we doing tonight, sir?
Oh, you are muted, good sir.
Yeah, you're muted, sir.
I'm doing well. Yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm excited to go over the Bad Batch 6 episode with everybody.
Yeah, definitely, man. Awesome. And Padawan Frito, Mr. Jason, sir, how are you tonight?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're free from work. I'm ready to go over the trailer, episode 6, which I am very happy with.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's get right into this. So I'm going to bring the trailer up here, guys, and we are going to check it out.
This team has given us 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, with another season on the way, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
We get into this because we're fans.
The people working on this feel just like you guys do. The legacy of it, it means something to them.
It is this mix of incredible talent, everyone just bringing it week after week.
I think we've got some really good Jedi working on this series.
I'm very proud of The Mandalorian. It's about becoming part of something larger than yourself.
This is the way.
Did you expect The Mandalorian to become such a global phenomenon?
Honestly, I was just happy to get to make Star Wars.
It's Pedro Pascal! I love you!
The man of the year.
I mean, it had to have been incredibly surreal to watch the show blow up.
I love that, man.
God, right?
The stores off social media.
Are you familiar with the baby Yoda from The Mandalorian? Well, I think might be able to unite the country.
He stole everybody's heart. Hi, Grogu!
For a generation of kids now, Grogu represents something that R2 represented to me.
Breakout star.
The most carefully guarded surprise to date, Luke Skywalker's appearance.
For people to be able to discover that in real time was magical.
Such a great
To see
moment.
the reactions. Oh my God. That was a high point of my whole career. Makes you grateful that you're doing what you're doing.
Everywhere I've gone, people want to talk about The Mandalorian. And to now have the 3rd season ready to present to the public.
We thought it might be fun to show a sneak peek.
You have removed your helmet. And you are a Mandalorian no more.
All right, kid. Hang on.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Dude, I'm so pumped. I mean, I am
God,
so
that is-
pumped with it. We are a month away exactly right now today.
It's going to be a legendary.
They set so much up for this upcoming season. Just, it's going to be good.
Dude, and they're obviously not scared of it. Like, they are proud of this season. They are proud of this season for
They are
sure.
extremely. And
So-
I mean, I couldn't see any two better people than those guys to actually be on the forefront of all of this. They are taking the time, they're getting it all right, and the fans are loving it.
No, I think ever since Andor came out, what I've been saying is if they can't get Gilroy, get somebody else, get a serious director like Gilroy and those two together and have them three run Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Because those two can do the more like not kiddie side, but you know it, the more lighthearted, fun side.
Yeah.
And then you have a serious director that can use them as creative tools to write stories in a more serious vein. Do you know what I mean? Because you can use them for the lore, but you need that more serious writer and director to write the actual stories out and make them more serious. Because I think a good blend is Mandalorian and Andor. I think that's a good blend for them to have, is those two types of shows and movies coming out. So, yeah, I wish they did something like that. I wish they could get Gilroy. I don't think he would do it, but if they got somebody serious like him, I think it would work with Filoni and Favreau. Those two are the key. So those two are the key, in my opinion.
They have the lore, they have the knowledge, and they're willing to take the time to learn anything they don't. And even if they have to create something, they make sure it fits in the world.
Yeah.
Like that's the best part about him, is they take the time to understand their environments in the worlds that they're in.
I mean,
go ahead.
I said, I know there are some complaints, but I like how that everything that they've been trying to do has been interconnected.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just Filoni is the closest thing we will ever get at Lucasfilm right now that knows Star Wars like Lucas does. That's just what it is. He was literally the Padawan to George Lucas. I mean, George Lucas, he's been with him since almost the beginning. I mean, not the original trilogy beginning, but the beginning of Lucasfilm and all of that. So it's for him to not be involved in it. And he said many times he doesn't want the full responsibility. That's where I think you need other people like Favreau and like another director to come in to sort of take that load off of him, where he can just be creative and just have fun.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yeah,
because you put him and Favreau in a room with writers, man, you're going to get good stuff. You just
mean, clearly we keep getting good content from them when they're working together.
The things that they haven't been directly involved with, except for Boba Fett, are the things that haven't been great.
Yeah.
And I really believe that Boba Fett would have been great if it wasn't for the fact that Mandalorian came out, because the Mandalorian was originally Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I mean, Favreau has said it many times. That was the original character he pitched, and they were like, no, I don't think we should do that. And that's when he created the Mandalorian and just fit him in as Boba Fett. So all those stories that we've got in the Mandalorian would have been the Boba Fett show originally.
I wish the Boba Fett show was more of a, Godfather-esque type feel to it. Instead of
when it came
him
out,
coming in to save the town. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike it, but I feel like it would have been a much better show and truer to who Boba Fett was, and all his his essence basically as a character would have been more to come in. And I'm not going to be a regular gangster. I'm going to come in and I'm going to be the mob boss. You're going to pay your respects. And as long as we're taken care of, you're taken care of.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they did want to, I feel, dial it down and make it more,
which to me doesn't make sense, because right before that is the Boba Fett we get in Mandalorian. And he is not toned down or soft in any way, shape, or form. He destroys those stormtroopers. I mean, he literally goes through them like butter.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like he was toned down in those and that. That's why I think I don't like the Mandalorian or Boba Fett as much, is because we just got this like crazy reintroduction to Boba Fett, and then we go into Boba Fett and he's just like this soft dude, and it's like, wait a minute, like what just happened here? I don't. Yeah. It's a very weird transition for me that they make with the character between season 2 of Mandalorian and season 1 of Boba Fett. So, yeah, I think what you're saying is exactly what it needed. It needed him to come in and be that, like, nah, you're not pulling no crap on me. I've been around the block a few times. Like, are you serious? I used to run with Jabba on Tatooine. Like that's the other thing is he literally used to be in Tatooine. It's so all these people disrespecting him the way they do, it sort of doesn't make sense either. Because it's like, like even if you don't remember him, his name is on Tatooine. Like people know who Boba Fett is on Tatooine.
He would at least be lore or something, legend.
Yeah, like if he walked back in the middle of that town, people weren't just gonna be like, "Oh, you're a bitch." Like, there's no way. There is no way. They're gonna just be like, "Oh, we can punk you around all day long."
But even if they wanted to show him getting older, which is I feel like what they wanted to do, they wanted to give him a a lighter feel. I feel like because they're like, "Oh, he's getting older and everything."
Mm-hmm.
But if they would have done like like we say, a Godfather-esque, he could have still been a hard-ass motherfucker, and all he had to do was get nasty when he needed to. He had his people, he had his right-hand man and everything like that, and all you needed to do is when he really needed to take care of business, he got up and did it. Everyone else would take care of the bidding for him. He would still be that old man. He would still be sitting at that throne, not really doing that crazy stuff. But, in the end, he obviously did. But I just feel like it would have had a better feel to it.
Yeah, and I think like my version of Boba Fett would have already had a plan in place. Like he wouldn't have needed Fennec Shand.
Yep.
I mean, it was cool, and maybe because it's owned by Disney, they wanted to make him like more friendly or whatever. But I'm just like, he's supposed to be the most ruthless bounty hunter out there, and like I feel like he could have been really ruthless, and then you could have had Mandalore come in and remind him of his code, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm also this, so now I got to go do this now."
Well, not even that, but when the Mandalorian shows up in Boba Fett, he literally slices through somebody in half with the Darksaber.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were scared to go dark in that show. It's just for some reason they were scared to go dark with him specifically, and it's like, that's the character. Why are you scared to go dark with
I feel like probably a redemption.
Were the writers different for that?
So Filoni and Favreau did write it. So I mean, mostly Favreau, because Favreau, that's his favorite character too. So he has been wanting to do Boba Fett forever. I think he just got carried away with a bunch of ideas and just couldn't put an actual story together.
Yeah.
Well, hear me out. Well, continue.
Yeah, no,
I was gonna say, whereas what we've seen so far with Mandalorian season 3, at least in the trailer, it does seem like a more concise and cohesive story, which I'm hoping carries.
Look, I'm not talking shit, because if I was Favreau and you gave me a chance to write Boba Fett, trust me, he's doing everything, there is to do. It's going to be like all the Fast and Furious movies in one show.
Oh yeah,
like, he's just going to go nuts. So I get it, but maybe he wasn't the best one to write that show, particularly just because he's so close to the character. Maybe that, and maybe it happens.
Well, hear me out. Maybe he, since he loves the character so much, he wanted to give him that redemption arc and make him really out to not to be the bad guy that we all see, but the hero that he thinks he is.
Well, and I think, like you said, he could have done that. He doesn't have to make him a killer, but he had to make him tougher. He had to be tougher. There were certain situations where they just pretty much bowl over Boba Fett. Like, he doesn't even put up a fight. And it's like, that's not Boba Fett at all. Like, even if he was a softer dude where he's not just willing to kill people, for just looking at him wrong, he's still going to be like, yeah, you're not just going to push me around. Like, I'm still not like, I'm still not a bitch. Like, sorry, I'm still Boba Fett. Like, you're going to respect me at least.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, let's just not cross that line and I don't have to kill you. Like, that's where he's at now.
Every time he came across somebody, he should have been like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, like
do you know who I am? Yeah.
In that town on Tatooine, that close to Jabba's palace, there's no way his name isn't still talked about. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It would be like saying that Billy the Kid never existed today. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, right.
And
like,
it wasn't
we still
even
talk
like
about him
that much time had passed.
No, from the original, from episode 5 to now, it's 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is. Maybe not even that long, because it's 8 years after episode 6. So
Like they should have showed like people afraid to speak his name because of that. Just like how much of a
Yeah, it
menace he
should have been
is.
like a he who shall not be named. It's the Baba Yaga.
it was just a weird thing. I don't. Again, like I said, look, he's my favorite character. I like that show more than most people just because of that. But I see the flaws in that show. I mean, the Power Rangers, all that crap is just. It's like, come on, man.
They could have had somebody like say like you don't say his name, and then someone would be like, well, why not? Because you never know, he could be right around the corner, and then you see that hand shoot up out of the sand with him still alive. Like I've been just so many more ways, just like to just write a better story. I feel like, but
for sure,
yeah. So that's it for that. Let's move on to the
can't beat a dead
what
horse.
We're here to talk about, guys. No. It's just one of those things where it's not going to change. Hopefully, we get a season 2. It's better. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
or we don't.
Agreed.
Or we don't at all. So, no, but yeah. So let's talk about episode 6, right, guys? Episode 6.
Yeah. It's called The Tribe. It was called The Tribe.
What is it? The Tribe?
Okay. The Tribe.
So I gotta say,
opinions, guys.
Yeah, off the bat, man, strong. I think it's my favorite episode.
Yeah,
so far,
probably my favorite so far, other than seeing Captain Cody again or Commander Cody again. Yeah.
Sure.
But no, agreed. This is a great episode. I am thoroughly excited for the introduction to the show of Gungi.
Yeah.
I was, the moment I saw him, I was just like, no, that's not him. And then he grabbed the lightsaber, and I was just like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at work watching the episode at my phone. The dude's sitting next to me like, what the fuck are you watching? Star Wars, don't worry about it.
Well, before, like, I didn't recognize it, and then he's like, I can't leave. And then Omega's like, why can't you leave? And then you see him rummaging for something. You're like, wait, he's rummaging for something. And then you're like, wait, maybe he's looking for the lightsaber. And then you see that guy come out, and then he pulls the lightsaber to him. I was like, no way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Just that first, that first scene of him, I felt like a giant kid again.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like it's another Jedi. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just great.
Now there was one second part of me that I was like, please be Chewbacca, please be Chewbacca. and then I looked at him and I was like, well, that's not Chewbacca. I was like,
that's not Chewie.
Yeah. And then when we got to the lightsaber part, I'm like, oh, gotcha. It's Filoni. Makes sense. I know exactly who this is now.
It's cool though. Like I'd like to see a younger Chewbacca because we haven't really seen that, but I don't know if they would go that direction just because.
Well, also he's too old at that point. Anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
He wouldn't be that young at that point because he's like 200 years old or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then, so he wouldn't have been that young anyway at that point.
I'm really happy with the introduction of Gungi just because that means we're getting more and more intertwined with the Rebels, world that they've set up over there. And it gives me more hope that they're going to continue on and intertwine more of the shows and lores together to give us a more intricate story that at least people who are watching it all can keep up with, because I've noticed, I noticed who it was the moment I saw him, and like I want more and more of like the interconnections of everything.
It's like that meme of Leonardo DiCaprio where it's like, hold it, wait, real quick.
It's the thing. He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. Yeah, exactly.
He's doing the Jedi thing.
No, I think if not this show and another show is going to lead us right into Rebels. If this show doesn't go into Rebels and Filoni's going to, after this show ends, 5 seasons, whatever, then we'll get the next show that will, continue between this show and Rebels. He's going to fill in this whole part between episode 3 and 4. That's what Filoni's going to do. Yeah. He's going to fill in this entire gap between episode 3 and 4. So everybody knows what everybody was doing. And hopefully he can finally explain one of my biggest questions, which is, where in the hell are these people then during the rebellion?
Yeah.
Because for some reason they are super active until Episode 4 happens. Episode 4 happens. Everybody disappears. Episode 6 happens. Everybody comes back. And it's like, where did y'all go for like 5 years? Literally during the most important part of the most, like where did y'all
We
go?
just said, you know what? We're going to leave this to these
Right.
guys. We're out.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird that in that final battle scene, to me, that Ahsoka's not there. That like there's so many people that could be there at that final battle with Vader and Palpatine with Luke, and it's just Luke.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? It's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
But I also really enjoyed.
If Ahsoka was there, could you imagine if Ahsoka was standing next to Luke when he walked into the throne room? Can you imagine if Luke and Ahsoka just walked in like, what's up?
What's up?
What's up? Remember us,
What
bitch?
if-
What's up?
You know how
What's up?
they like
Bring
released an HD version of that like a couple years ago? What if they come
God, I
out and
want that
reintroduce a new reimage? They could keep the whole movie, but just redo that scene where it's Obi-Wan,
Oh my God,
Luke,
dude.
and Ahsoka, and then that's your new ending right there.
Oh
That'd
my
be
God,
pretty
dude.
gnarly.
I don't even want Obi-Wan. Just Luke and Ahsoka walk in there, and Ahsoka just looks at Palpatine and Vader's like, "What's up? What's up? What y'all want? Y'all want some of this? Let's go."
Fucking.
Yep. Luke's like, "Oh
Fucking
shit!"
hell.
Luke just steps back, like, "I'm following you." I guess
It's like,
I'm following you
listen,
in this
you-
one. Let's go.
You take the lead
Yeah.
on that.
God, I want
So-
that scene, dude.
Do you guys
go ahead.
think that commander, when he's like, "Hey, maybe we should radio this in that this is a Jedi," that we don't see if he actually did it or not? So,
Yeah.
like, my thing is like, did he actually do it? Because I feel like because Sidious would not allow even a rumor to go
No.
Good soldiers follow
unchecked.
orders.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that was definitely reported. Good soldiers follow orders.
So
Yeah,
maybe.
Or that
his
trooper's
that's
dead.
not his.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But I feel like it would have, the moment he would have gotten away from that dude, he was reporting back. Like there was no
sure.
way it was getting past him getting killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
He wasn't gonna risk
within
his
the
own
moment
life, no. Yeah.
noticed that it was a Jedi. Probably 10 minutes later, at most, it was already reported somewhere to someone.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah,
whether
the
or
only
not
thing is,
that's
I
gonna
mean, we
get
know
back
he
to-
survived, so we know they don't catch him. So at least we know
Yeah.
that. Well, for at least a certain part of time. So
I'm really curious. I really enjoyed the introduction and showing a tribe, even just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wookiee tribe.
I liked it. Yeah.
We've seen the Wookiees in battle. We've seen, Wookiee slaves, but we very rarely have seen them just at home, sitting down, having a meal, living their lives. And I thought it was a really nice moment when they were touching the tree and like saying that
Yeah.
they were talking
Yeah,
to.
it was a great.
It was a nice moment, and like you could see that Gungi was like he had this moment of just like, is this
I'm
what I
home.
do now?
Yeah, he had a moment of just, I'm home. Like you
Yeah.
could see it in his eyes. He was just like, "Oh, this is where I belong." It was
Mhm.
it was a really touching moment. I agree with you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Really
nice. And just the fact that, obviously they just welcomed him in with, open arms, and was just like, yep,
Yeah.
you're home.
And I like that they play on the that they're clone troopers and that he's scared of them, and that
Yeah.
even the Wookiees for a minute are like, "Wait a minute, are you sure they're cool? Are
Yeah.
you sure?" And he's like, "No, we're
But
good."
that's
we're
also-
good." Like,
That's why I also feel like this isn't going to be the last we're going to see of Gungi in this show. Because obviously I feel like if they radioed in, more clones are going to be coming. I feel like
Yeah.
within an episode or two, they're going to be getting a distress call from Gungi, like, listen, the woods are burning, like, we need you.
right. Yeah.
And
for
Omega's
sure.
going to be like, of course we're going to come help.
She's gonna wait till they're all sleeping and just turn the ship around and just head right there.
Just, they all wake up and it's just like, you see it's Tech rubbing his eyes like, where
Yeah.
are we?
Yep.
Just
Oh, dude,
Omega
she is such a
piloting the
little
ship.
nuisance. She is such a little nuisance doing her own thing, man. Can't be mad at her.
Always. And it's at this point,
Yeah.
even at the beginning of the episode, Tech was just like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you guys think about when they first get to that planet and everything? Well, first we go through the woods with the spiders.
That was cool. I wasn't
That was a
expecting
cool
that.
moment.
Yeah, how he reached out and it's like, oh, we're cool. Like, don't mess with us. We're not going to hurt you. Don't hurt us.
Which that is really interesting because he hasn't been there since he was, a baby at best. Because he was taken probably at a very, very young age, and
Yeah,
it was just like, how long has it been since he's been there? How did he know that? And it was just like a really cool moment to also be.
I mean, some Jedi can talk to,
True.
can talk to animals. So I mean,
So he would
I'm
have been
sure
trained.
he was.
Yeah,
he was probably putting out energy like, look, we're cool. Like, don't. Yeah, even if he wasn't talking to them directly, he was, letting them know that they weren't there to harm him. So, yeah, I didn't have an issue with that. I also like that little fight. Oh no, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I got where they were going with that. And then we get the little battle where he just goes ham on some Trandoshan's.
Oh yeah,
he just goes off.
He was just like, you ain't messing with my buddies. These are my people.
Yeah. And
but
they,
it was just
they
also
see the trapped Wookiee.
It was also a funny moment where it was just like he did an Omega thing, and Hunter looks over and it's like, God damn it,
gone.
These fucking kids, man, they're gonna get me killed.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
One of the
he said it later in the episode. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
One of the things I was halfway expecting was like them to hint at Omega's force ability. So maybe she doesn't have any force abilities.
I think she does. I think that scene with her and him at the end touching the tree, I think she's feeling the same thing he's feeling.
I would love for her to be like force sensitive and everything. Like, I really hope they incorporate that into her character. But so far, we haven't seen much.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it though. That's the only thing, because none of the clones have been force sensitive. So that would mean that when Dooku set up the clones and brought Jango Fett there, and they made Omega is not a pure clone of Jango Fett, that she has some Dooku in her.
That could be true.
Well, I thought she was supposed to be separate from Boba Fett, like a little bit different,
Well, they did make her different, but she's, for the most part, unaltered like him. Like, she doesn't have the growth hormones and the aging hormones and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sure they did other stuff to her, because they said she wasn't made at the same time as Boba Fett, I don't think. I think she was made a little bit later by the cloners. And,
so they could have added
right.
midichlorians or metachlorians to her. We don't know.
Yeah. See, that's the stuff I wish they would go in.
I feel like they might. They might, with the introduction of Gungi, if he's around on more adventures, and like she sees him doing some things, and like, one day they're at the ship playing around and Gungi's doing something with like his lightsaber or a ball or something, and she just like takes it from him.
Or I wish it's like stuff where like she'll like try something, or like at the end it'll be like she pushes it and then she turns away and she doesn't realize she just used the force, or just little things, and then they could lead up to something bigger later on where at the end they're like, you're a Jedi, we gotta find you a trainer or something, a master, somebody to train you,
You're a Jedi, Omega.
Jedi, you are. They sent what if they sent her to hang out with Yoda for a while?
That'd be cool.
Just sent her to hang out with Yoda, like, you must go to Dagobah.
That little twitchy bastard just fucking spinning, jumping around. I just imagine him just like, he's done a straight line before he goes into fights, and just like jumping and spinning around.
Just going nuts, dude. That Dooku fight is still one of my favorite lightsaber battles of all time, man. I love that
He's
scene.
just spinning through the air and jumping around and shit. You're just like, yo, this is why Yoda's a badass.
Yeah, it's some of the crazy, but just the way he walks in, dude. He walks in and just opens his robe and puts his hand out like this, and the lightsaber goes from his belt to his hand all the way over here, and he just lights that shit. I'm just like, oh, he's a straight gangster too. He knows that.
Oh yeah.
Like he knows he's about to fuck
Oh, yeah.
you up. He's
I
like,
wish they
I'm
would
not-
show younger Yoda. Like, give us some
Yeah.
backstory into Yoda.
Well,
Well, we're gonna
That
get
would be-
younger
yeah.
Yoda. Yeah, we're gonna get
we're
him.
going to get some High Republic movies, and Yoda's supposed to be about like 400 years younger in that, I think.
Hell
An
yeah.
acolyte. He's going to be 100 years before Episode 1, so he'll be 700 years old at that point. So,
God, he's
but,
a
I mean,
youngin'.
It's way before Attack of the Clones, so he can still do all that flipping shit before all that. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
he can at least do it. So we might see some crazy stuff in that.
That'd be fun.
The only thing about that show is I don't think we're going to get many main Jedi because they have to. This show has to tell a story about how the Sith are infiltrating the Senate and everything without the Jedi knowing. So I don't know. The only way I can see it is if some random Jedi is like found out and then they kill her or kill them.
I wonder if they'll use this new show as a way to, like, you know how we thought Palpatine was the only Sith left? If there's other, like, Sith sleepers. But then Palpatine wouldn't, like, that would break the rule of two, because...
This could lead
Well,
up
at this
to
point,
why,
Palpatine wouldn't be around.
This
He
could
wouldn't
lead
be
up
around
to
at
why
this point.
Qui-Gon leaves.
Yeah.
That could
Qui-Gon
lead,
leaves. Yeah.
Because this could be like the lead up to why Qui-Gon's like, I can't trust. There's a
Oh, he
mole
wouldn't be
here
around either.
somewhere.
Yeah, it would be way before Qui-Gon too.
Yeah.
It's 100 years before Episode 1, so
Okay.
yeah, Qui-Gon isn't even. Yeah, the only person that would be around that we know of is Yoda and Yaddle.
Who was Qui-Gon's master?
Yoda.
Yoda?
Yeah, Qui-Gon's master was Yoda. Yep.
Hold on, let me check real quick.
No, Dooku. I'm sorry, Dooku.
Yeah, I thought it was Dooku.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Qui-Gon's.
checking.
Qui-Gon's master was Dooku, but Dooku did train under Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think Yoda liked Qui-Gon more than Dooku.
Yes.
And that's why Dooku
Yes.
got mad and left eventually.
Yeah.
That, and he didn't like he thought the Jedi were becoming corrupt as well, and he became power hungry.
The Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
Filoni says that the Duel of Fates, that battle is the reason that Anakin goes bad.
Yeah.
If even though Obi-Wan beat Darth Maul took out Qui-Gon Jinn, which Qui-Gon is the only one that could have raised Anakin to be fully in the light.
I agree.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon
Even
was the
though
only one.
I don't agree with that though fully, because I still say if Ahsoka shows up on Mustafar instead of Obi-Wan, Anakin doesn't betray the Jedi, or doesn't betray her. Definitely doesn't betray her. And I think comes
I
back to
agree,
it.
but I feel like he at that point may have been too far.
Yeah.
Like
he
I
killed
feel like
all those kids.
Yep.
Yes.
That is the moment I feel like we fully lose Anakin, and Darth Vader is there. And
I agree, but
think
the
that-
reason we fully lose Anakin is because he felt like the Jedi Order turned on him and he couldn't trust them. And who shows up? Obi-Wan, a Jedi.
Yeah.
With his wife.
And I get it. And even
so if it's Ahsoka, who has already left the Jedi Order and is not a Jedi at all, no association to the Jedi, if she shows up by herself and says to Anakin, dude, come on. Like, I get it, but you can't. Like, this is not the path. Like, the Jedi is not you can't turn like this, dude. I don't think he fully goes. I think he comes back.
I guarantee. I tell you.
He goes to jail for the rest of his life.
Not even jail.
No,
not jail.
He goes
No.
to like
I'm
whatever
telling
it is
you
for the rest of his
that
life.
at that point, because he would. I feel like at that very moment, if she was there, it was either Ahsoka, you join me, or you're my enemy. It didn't matter if she was the
I don't
Jedi
think
or
he would do
not.
that to
It's
Ahsoka.
either you join me or you're with me on this, or you are not you are my enemy.
Well,
like I feel like that's how
I know what you're
at
saying,
that
and I don't
moment,
think you're
that's
wrong.
how it would
but
have been.
I know, and I agree. I think you're right to a point. The only thing that sticks out in my mind is that he was willing to leave the Jedi Order with Ahsoka, and she's the one that told him, "No, don't leave. You have to stay."
And that would have been his pitch to be like, you did it for me once, come with me to the dark side.
Well,
and she would have been like, nope.
At that point, though, do you think
Look,
she would
you're
have
not
been
wrong.
like,
You're not wrong.
she could have been
I
like,
can't really
know,
argue against it. Sorry.
I know you're suffering upset, and I was the same, but there's a third way, and we can work through this. But he's like, I killed all those people. He could have been like, she could have been like, okay, well, if you come with me, I can show you a way to cope with that, to deal with that. And then he goes with her.
But I also think she would have been able to convince him that Palpatine was the real problem too. Like she would have been like, I get where you're coming from, dude, but come on, you have to see what Palpatine is doing. Like you have to see now. You know he's the Sith Lord. You know he is the bad guy. Like I get it, your problems, but you have to understand that you are on the wrong side.
But also,
I think she would be able to get through to him. But again, I don't disagree with you, Jason. Yeah,
no, I know, and I'm just debating with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
I'm with you.
But at that point, he still thought that Palpatine was the only way to save Padme, because the only time he finally realized that there was nothing to do was when he came back at Darth Vader. So up until that moment, he had to save Padme for the sake of saving the love of his life and his children. And he had no idea that they were, there was nothing that he could do until after the fact.
And that's a good argument, man. Like I said, I can't argue against it. I just, in my heart of hearts, I just feel like there's something about their relationship and how she's not a Jedi anymore would be and I just think she could at least get through to him more than Obi-Wan could have in that moment.
For sure. I 100% agree
because
with that.
To Anakin, the only thing getting off of that ship was a traitor and his wife with the traitor.
Yep.
That's all he saw in that moment. Was somebody that went against him and his wife with them. And he's like, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Like, not only do you have the balls to show up after you turned on me, but you brought my wife with you?
Yeah.
I feel like they could have. And then you would have seen that flicker of his eyes go from yellow to blue.
Dude,
but then you see it, and then he thinks about it, and then you see him light up his lightsaber, and then he goes, "What about Padme?"
Yeah, because
and then
when they
his
show
eyes turn
him
back
on
to yellow.
Yeah, when he's on Mustafar, his eyes are regular. He is not fully gone yet. It's not until he
starts fighting. Fighting. Yeah.
When he's got his back to Obi-Wan, and he's like, "I'll do what I must," and he's like, "You will try." And when he lights that lightsaber, his eyes just go yellow.
Well, aren't they yellow when he kills the Genoshans?
Nope. They don't go yellow. Yeah, watch it again, man. I've seen it. I know it's crazy, but they did it for that reason, where he wasn't fully gone yet. He was not fully gone. I'm telling you, Obi-Wan is what set him over. Now, look, he was Vader 100% when he killed the younglings. That's no doubt. But he wasn't fully gone. Like Anakin wasn't fully gone until that moment. Yeah. But even after that, there are years. There's about 5 years where Vader is fighting with Anakin.
For sure.
Internally.
Even if you look at the comics, you'll see.
He hides it from Palpatine for like 5 years before he finally becomes Vader fully. And then it's not until he knows about Luke that Anakin starts coming back out again.
Well, I think it's the 5 years where he thinks about it, and then I think he tells Palpatine, and then they get into a fight, and then Palpatine shows him why he's the boss. And then I think he still thinks about it, but not as often as he did in those first 5 years. And then it's not until later when he is told he has a son that he starts to really think about it again.
Yeah, because the scene literally after he puts the mask on and stands up and does the no. Literally, the very next thing that happens is he tries to attack Palpatine, and Palpatine force lightnings him to the ground. And he's like, first of all, you're my dog. You don't attack me. You don't ever attack me again. Second of all, put all that crap out of your... Yeah, he's like, put all that Obi-Wan, all that Padme crap out of your mind, dude. Like, it's time to move forward now. But he made Vader's suit just so he could control him with his force lightning at any time. Yeah. He made Vader's suit just so he could control him. Yeah. Oh, that's a hidden gem in the. You know about that, Noah, don't you?
Yeah. Vader's suit could have been so much better, but the reason it was basically cloth was because it was even better then he wouldn't be in as much pain. And then if he wasn't in as much pain, he would have began to heal and maybe meditate and turn back to the light. And Palpatine's like, I'm not having any of this. I want full control.
He wanted him tortured the rest of his life and the ability to torture him at any moment.
Yeah.
That's what Palpatine wanted.
I did not know this.
Yeah, no, it's in the comic somewhere.
It's a crazy story, dude. The Palpatine and Anakin, like those first like 5-8 years, is insane. Like Palpatine treats him like a dog, like a straight up dog. I mean, and no respect at all.
I was gonna say, if you're that interested, the story about him getting his lightsaber, because I think there's like one other. I'm not sure if it's canon. There's one other Jedi, and Palpatine's like, okay, you gotta go, bring it back to me.
He almost comes back then too.
Yeah, you gotta go kill this guy, and then he makes him bleed it.
But when he's making the lightsaber, he has that vision, and when he's trying to bleed the lightsaber or the crystal, he has that vision, and he almost comes back again.
He has that vision of what could have been, but then it's like, this isn't real. Man. And then
he's truly the tortured soul. I mean, that's what he is. He's the tortured soul. Yeah. The Vader story is the tortured soul.
Yeah.
So, and then you have the, unlikely hero. That's the Luke story, and then it was supposed to be the third trilogy was supposed to be the Leia story, which we never got from.
I was gonna say, didn't get that one.
Yeah.
Never got that from Lucas, which we would have.
Oh yeah.
Again, I probably would have not liked them like the prequels until later in life, but you know what? We still would have had at least his 9 movies.
Yeah.
His version of that story.
Which would have at least given us an actual, I feel like, coherent ending to it all.
Mm-hmm. And we would have at least got the shot of the big 3 back together before Leia passed, or before Carrie Fisher passed away.
Yeah.
Sucks.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, guys. So anything else on this episode that we want to talk about, though, since we were talking about that the whole time?
I think we covered most of it. Other than
the
Bad Batch, like taking another L on another mission.
Yeah, right.
Their track record sucks.
Horrible.
How did they
lost
afford
money
food?
the last 3 episodes, right? Like the last 3 episodes, they lost money.
How are they even affording to keep the fuel in their ship?
No idea.
She's just like, oh, you guys are the best. You guys are making me so much money. Like, how are they making?
Like,
her
we
money?
haven't seen much profit from them in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's going to rear its ugly head here soon, and maybe that's what
Right.
leads to Sid betraying them.
Maybe.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
That
I
could be
guess.
it.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. So, are they going to be with the Jedi? Are they going to join with some Jedi? That's what's
I
going to
would
happen.
love them to.
They're going to have their own.
I
little
hope
resident
that's
Jedi.
exactly where we find out they've been like keeping Jedi safe and like in a fucking like bunker somewhere, just fucking holding them down, having them train. And it's like, that's where they've been this entire time. They've been saving the Jedi.
What if they find a Jedi that's like, all right, we have to get this person to another Jedi, and the only person, because he's so strong, they can feel is Luke.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty.
But he's only like
An
8 at this
animated
point.
Luke would be fun.
Oh
I feel
no,
like
actually,
that-
no. Luke's not even.
Especially
Luke's like
Mark
3. He's like
Hamill.
2 or 3.
Like a Mark Hamill as a voice actor is amazing. So like an animated version of Luke Skywalker might not be bad.
I think he's only like 2 or 3 because this is only like 2 or 3 years after Order 66, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's
So-
still fresh in everybody's
Yeah, he's still
mind.
a baby. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense then.
True.
Yeah, that would be cool though. He's still the strongest at like 2 years old. He's the strongest Jedi out there. 2 years
He's
old.
just like jumping around.
He's just flying.
Doing
through
like
things.
Yoda shit all over the place.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
He just got amnesia. He knocked himself out one day and got amnesia and forgot he could do all of it. That's why he had to relearn it.
That'd be great.
He
You
was
see,
like
Obi-Wan was around a lot more, and then he just never remembered him.
You just see it as like a 1-year-old just Super Saiyan it up in the middle of the Tatooine desert, just powering up. And then he tries to fly and he runs into a tree, and that's it. That was the last time he knew he had.
And that was the last time we saw Luke doing anything.
You just see him there with the blue hair sticking up, just powering up like a Super Saiyan. Just little Krillin just standing there, little Krillin with the shaved little baby Luke.
That'd be funny.
Oh man, I would love it. That's what we need: the Star Wars, Dragon Ball crossover. Goku versus Luke.
You may have the Force, but I have the uncontrollable urge to fight every single person I see.
He has also that too. Oh, want to fight? Let's fight. Let's have a fight. Oh, you beat me? Now I gotta take this shit seriously. Now I gotta mess you up. That's his whole story. Let's have a fight for fun. Oh, you can beat me. Oh shoot, now I gotta kick your ass for real.
Oh, now I really have to power up.
That's his whole story. Every season, that's his whole story.
Literally. But it's great.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
That's how Luke should have been. Just like, I can't beat Darth Vader. Power up mode.
Just hold on, I'm not strong enough. Screaming.
Kind of like the Flash. I'm not fast enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta get faster.
Good. That's so great. That's so great. All right, guys. I think we're gonna.
I think that's a wrap for tonight.
We're rambling. We're just rambling at this point now. So, guys, everybody where they can find you, man.
I am setting up an Instagram. I was actually doing it right before this, so I will let you guys know the very next time I see you guys. I will be back here for any reviews you see. The Sunday episode, I pop in on any episode I can throughout the week, and don't forget to catch me here on the Jedi Academy.
Absolutely. Noah, anything
No,
for you?
On our Sunday show. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining us. It was good talking Bad Batch episode 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this was a really good episode overall, man. This was definitely their best episode so far. So really glad to see them. Yeah, I hope it gets good from here on out. And not that it hasn't been, but I hope it gets, I hope it stays like this.
Oh yeah.
So all right, guys. I am Jedi Master Tuck. Look for me on Twitter at Jedi Master Tuck. I'm here pretty much every night, and on the Facebook groups, Multiverse of Geekdom and the Benverse. But we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us, and again, please like and subscribe to the channel, guys.
May the Schwartz be with you.
There we go. Merchandising.